Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Game Junk Podcast, episode 247, recording on Sunday, September 14th, 2025. My name is Frank.
My name is Sean.
And my name is Andrew.
And on today's episode, we'll be talking about the Nintendo Direct for 9/12/2025. And that'll be a lot of discussion, I can say that for sure. It was jam-packed, over an hour long, and getting into some stuff we played, including some extended time with Hollow Knight Silksong. We'll see if opinions have changed.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I have a question for you, Frank. Have you put more time at this moment now into Silksong than DK Bonanza?
I think it's pretty close. I would still say I've put more time into DK Bonanza, but I'm creeping up on Silksong.
Oh boy.
I did a couple marathon sessions of Silksong this week. We'll get into it.
Holy.
But I'm like 24 hours in, something like that, 23.
Wow. Jeez, It's a long game.
It really is. And I'm doing all the side missions and everything in there, so I've been giving it some time. All right, on to important business. Nintendo Direct. This was like a Nintendo Direct mostly with some partner stuff, and started off announcing it's Mario's 40th anniversary, which everything I had seen leading up to this Direct indicated the rumor was it would be a bunch of announcements for Mario's 40th anniversary. And it was. Started off with some just Nintendo Museum stuff and other garbage. Super Mario Galaxy movie. And then the big first announcement, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 coming in new versions, HD, remastered, releasing on October 2nd. So very soon. New amiibos coming with this as well. Let's kind of go over that set of announcements. What do people think about these Mario-related celebrations?
Well, I mean, I guess I'll just start by saying there was no Mario Odyssey 2. I think some people thought that might be unveiled here as a part of the Mario festivities.
Or maybe a Switch 2 edition with something.
Maybe. But yeah,
but it did not happen.
Yeah, so the Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 package, Mario Galaxy 1 was in the last thing that they put out with like 4 Mario games. What was that called?
Super Mario 3D Collection.
Is that what it was called? Okay.
I believe there's only 3 games in that.
Okay.
Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy, which people were upset because Super Mario Galaxy 2 was not included.
Right. So now you can get it. Originally, I thought you had to buy 1 and 2 together. It looks like you will be able to buy 2 separately, but only digitally, I think. Not the physical is 1 and 2 together. But I mean, I'll probably pick it up. I never played 2 at all, I don't think. I played a little bit.
You didn't play 2 at all?
No.
Oh my God.
What?
Those are definitely 2 on my list of shame that need to happen at some point. But
I know we've talked about this before, but it might be the best Nintendo Direct sequel ever.
Really?
I'm sure some people would say Tears of the Kingdom, that like launches on the same console as the original, and not including like across console generations. But that's definitely, I think, a problem for Nintendo. When they follow up their own games on the same hardware, they're usually a little disappointing. And that one is definitely an exception. So,
well, that's exciting. But yeah, the reason for this is that the movie, Super Mario Brothers Movie 2, is now officially titled Super Mario Galaxy Movie. So they got to get everybody prepped for the movie.
I got to say, love the title. I like that they switched it to Galaxy. I think it's a cool take. Not that I care that much. I thought the first one was okay. My only note on that, when they were announcing the returning cast, Seth Rogen as DK no longer there. Everyone else was mentioned, I think, except for him. So, don't know what happened there. Maybe DK don't go out into the galaxy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Maybe he's getting his own movie.
Did Donkey Kong get an anniversary celebration? That would have been earlier, I think, right? Like in arcades and
Yeah, did they do something? I feel like maybe there was something small mentioned, but definitely not at this scale.
I mean, there is no Mario without Donkey Kong.
That's
So
true.
it's a little strange. Anyway, new amiibos for those games. Just got to mention these amiibo prices are getting insane, and these ones are $40.
$40?
$40, and I don't even think they do anything special. I know the Air Riders ones are expensive that come up later in the show, but they have like the ability to train and do stuff on it. I think that's similar to the Street Fighter amiibos, Street Fighter 6, which are also $40. Like they really gotta do something here.
It definitely feels like they've given up on trying to integrate the amiibos into gameplay. Like they're just collector's items. They know they're going to sell out immediately, so they just keep making them.
I think people just need to stop buying them to send a message to Nintendo, and they won't.
100%.
They'll just keep buying them because the prices are ridiculous. Okay, next, first new game announcement, like new of the show, Mario Tennis Fever, coming to the Switch 2 exclusively, February 12th of 2026. Any thoughts on this?
Oh yeah, I was loving it. I love the Mario Tennis series, and I haven't played one in a while, but I was deep into, Mario Tennis on 64 and all that, and I don't think I've played any of the newest ones, but I'm excited for this game. Plus Scarlet Fever, obviously Game Junk listeners stole the name, went right to the fever, and I'm excited. I'm excited to know that Nintendo listens to the show and thought, what a great branding exercise we can do by stealing Scarlet Fever and working it into our game here. And I thought, they have like all the gameplay they showed of like the adventure mode and then the challenge mode and all that stuff. I thought was pretty interesting. And, I don't know, I like that kind of stuff. So I'm definitely interested in this game.
Yeah, I am too. I always like Mario Tennis, and then I play it for a while and I get sick of it pretty quick. It gets a little repetitive. Even the last one on Switch had a campaign mode, which was not all that fun from what I remember. So I'm hoping this one brings the heat a bit with the fever. And it had like these fever rackets, I think they're called, that are like these special power-up rackets that seemed kind of neat, especially if could be intriguing from a multiplayer perspective. But we'll see. I'll probably end up buying it, but it could be $120 or something, and then I might have to rethink it.
Most likely. Yeah. It's got that Nintendo seal of approval, that gold seal.
I mean, Bonanza's 100, so I doubt Mario Tennis will be 120. It's still crazy. They better have a lot of DLC coming from Mario Kart World in retrospect, that they were charging $20 more than Bonanza for that game.
Yeah.
Next announcement, Mario Brothers Wonder getting a Switch 2 version. And also new Switch 2. Actually, I'm not sure if the DLC is exclusive, but it's getting DLC. Meet up in Bella Bella Park, which featured a bunch of co-op games and mini games. I really wasn't sure. Sean, you're the co-op guy. What did you think of this?
Yeah, it was kind of intriguing. It was like one of those things where I couldn't fully tell like what is all there. This seems to be their thing where like when they re-release games for the Switch 2, they throw in a little extra something, and this is the little extra something. Which am I going to rebuy the whole game for $100 or whatever for this? Probably not. But like,
why would you have to rebuy it?
Yeah, I guess I could just upgrade. But I
wake up, dude! I knew something was up with you today.
Well, but like, how much are the upgrades? Because this was the whole thing we talked about before, where I thought originally upgrading any Switch game to Switch 2 would be included with the Switch Online, and that didn't turn out to be the case. So, I was interested in the Mario Party. I remember that one was pretty expensive to upgrade. It's not, I don't know if it's worth it for just these little extra things. But, I would like to try those mini games out, all things considered.
They definitely vary in price. The Zelda ones were 15 in Canada, I think, maybe 20, and obviously included in the expansion pass. Kirby's was 25, And I think the Metroid one is 15. I was looking at using a voucher today. So I'm guessing this one will be 15 or 20, but it is. I'm going to pay it for sure, but it is what it is, I suppose. I didn't think the gameplay, the new stuff, looked all that great. I thought it was kind of bad Mario Party at best, but who knows?
Yeah.
Next up, another new game announcement, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, which highlighted another cool Nintendo name, a magic book that lands called Mr. E, which I loved and definitely
Stands
made me
for
think of.
Mr. Encyclopedia, right?
Is it? I thought it was
I
just
think
like.
so. I thought they said Mr.
Oh,
Encyclopedia at some point in the trailer.
obviously it's mystery, but I thought it was just Mr. E, period. Maybe I missed that part. But definitely reminded me of, was it Dr. Hakim, the character in It Takes Two?
Definitely thought of
Felt
that.
like, unlike Nintendo, to kind of directly rip off a character that much, but whatever. Obviously, with these games, the hook is very creative art styles. In the past, Yoshi's Woolly World, I think this might be the same dev team, don't quote me on this, as like the Epic Yarn games as well, or the Kirby games that have very unique art styles that tend to focus on physical textile materials being incorporated into the art direction. And this one has more of like a hand drawn, I would say maybe along the lines of Plucky Squire, of a children's book or something like that, and investigating that. I love the art style. I just thought the gameplay looked really, really underwhelming, which tends to be the case for this series as well. They're targeted towards younger audiences, and I was like, you hit dandelions and you make a rock break? Like, this is the fucking best you got, Nintendo? This is brutal.
It definitely seemed like more of a puzzle game from what I could tell. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I like the art style of these games and they are cool. But once upon a time, I would have been like, hey, I'll pick this up, play with the kids. But I do not think they're interested in this anymore. So am I going to buy it to play myself? I'm not sure yet.
To be fair, if it is a puzzle game, more so than a platformer, I would be way more interested. I think there could be a lot of potential there. I guess I just assumed it's a platformer, which could be incorrect. But a puzzle game like this, like a simple, fun puzzle game like Plucky Squire, could actually do quite well, I think. So we'll see. Huck, any thoughts on that one?
I don't know. I really like the art style as well. I wasn't so down on the gameplay. I think it is probably more of a platformer from what I saw, and maybe like some puzzle elements with, the breaking the dandelion rocks or whatever. But I don't know. I thought it looked pretty neat, and I think these games just look so nice. It's kind of like Mario Wonder. Like once you see the art style, you almost like don't even really care about the gameplay. You just want to like see how it looks in game and in practice, and see all the different things they can come up with. I mean, obviously the gameplay is important, but yeah, it definitely has its hooks. Probably a library purchase for me, if you want to call that a purchase.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, I'm going to do a big group of stuff. Storm Lancers, a roguelike with co-op that launched that day. Dinkum, that I don't remember anything about except its name. Popucom, which was a co-op game that I think Sean will want to talk about, which is already on Steam. Tamagotchi Life, Living the Dream. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. And Linked Banner of a Spark. Any thoughts on those titles?
I mean, I was definitely interested in the Popucom. It looks almost like, It Takes Two, Split Fiction meets Zuma. If you guys remember Zuma,
Oh, yeah.
the old SK
and
days.
Bust a Move.
And Bust a Move.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, this could be pretty interesting to combine those two and make it co-op and have like other sort of like cooperative kind of like puzzle mechanics. So I mean, the art style is very basic and very like Nintendo-esque. So I think it being on the Switch is a perfect spot for it. But it definitely looks interesting. It's something you can definitely like pick up and play with the kids for sure. Have a good time with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as I mentioned, it is out on Steam already. So
Okay.
if
I
you're
just
intrigued by
picked
it,
it up a week or two ago and I haven't played it yet. But yeah, it has really good reviews too. Like I remember seeing it on Metacritic pretty like in the
Hmm.
high 80s, I want to say. So
Wow.
it's yeah, it looks intriguing for sure. Out of
yeah.
that batch of games, that's probably the only one I'm interested in. Although Storm Lancers looked okay, but another roguelike, it's hard to, their selling point is that it's couch co-op, which okay, I guess that's kind of cool, but
And I don't think online co-op. Uh, for, I didn't look that hard, but it gave me a bit of kind of a Contra meets Dead Cells vibe. Art style was okay, but I thought it was interesting that it was launching that day on Nintendo and only Nintendo. It's not on
Hmm.
Steam either. It's on nothing else. And that
yeah.
almost got me to buy it, but I just didn't have time today. And I was looking for reviews. There's not a lot out there yet, but I thought it looked okay as well. Next up, and nothing else on any of the other games.
I don't think
No?
so.
No, I think that Dinkum game is already out on Steam as well.
Okay. Next, Hades 2 officially getting a final release date 1.0 version, September 25th. So 11 days from when we're recording,
Yeah, right around the corner.
which which is crazy considering like Hollow Knight and Hades 1 are two of the most beloved indie games of the last decade, I would say, if not the two most beloved games. And they're going head to head in the same month, possibly at the Game Awards, and possibly both losing to DK Bonanza, and maybe even Expedition 33. Who knows? But it's been a busy September for cherished and beloved indie games. So is anyone picking up Hades 2? It's exclusive to Switch as well, obviously on Steam already, but it will not be on other consoles on September 5th. Question is, and it will have cloud save support. So this is kind of a big deal in terms of, if I play it a bunch on the Switch too and I buy it, again, I already have it on Steam. Then when it launches on PlayStation, I just assume it's going to pop all those trophies. So it's not like it's not wasted
There we
work to
go.
play it on the Switch. It's
What?
actually going to
Okay.
pop like multiple trophies in the
That's
future.
what they said. It would have cross-platform cloud saves.
Yeah. Well, in an article, I don't know if they said that in the direct, but it was definitely in an article I read. So I think people who had it, I don't know what the plan is for that game in terms of early access porting to final game support, like how much of your save files carry over. I would guess a lot of it, if not all. But
I don't
I
know.
think they're saying that progress, whatever you play, will transfer across console, which is kind of exclusive to big multiplayer games like Diablos like that and COD and other games.
Yeah.
But this is becoming a big thing. And I didn't play Borderlands 4 yet, but it doesn't have that at launch and it is coming in the future. So
Well, I mean, like to do that, you have to run your own servers and support everyone's. So you have to have basically, you would have to set up, your own ID and then be able to tie all your accounts together. So they're going to have some sort of like super giant login that you can then link all your accounts to. And then that's where you'll update your clouds. I mean, you can do that. It just seems like a big deal for a small studio. I think Supergiant's still not very big. Like maybe I would guess 40 people, unless they really ramped up for Hades 2, but I don't think they're that big. So that seems like a pretty, like, unless they have publisher money or made an absolute killing on early access. But I mean, then
I'm
there's,
sure they did.
yeah, I'm sure they did too. But I mean, there's also like, long-term support costs to that. And especially with the whole, I mean, we haven't really talked about it too much, this whole like stop killing games thing or whatever. Like this almost like ties into that. If you want to like, if they run out of money and they can't keep their servers on anymore, all of a sudden you can't cross save anymore. I mean, the game's not unplayable, so it's not really the same thing, but all of a sudden, this feature they promised to have is not available. So I'm surprised an indie studio would take on this risk, but
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's
I don't
cool.
think it's. I don't think that it would have to be supported forever. I think local saves would still work at some point, whatever local
Yeah,
save you have.
yeah, they would.
So that service would might eventually go away. It's possible, but Ubisoft does it a lot too. Almost every Ubisoft
Yeah,
game
but
now you
Ubisoft
can
is
cloud
enormous.
save. Oh no, I get that too. I just think
Yeah.
it's interesting that this is going to be the next feature that people lose their shit if it's not provided or something like that. And
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
it's like let's pump the brakes a bit. I like the feature, especially for like trophy and achievement losers like me. It is the best thing in the world. But
Yeah.
it's I'm hoping it sticks personally. But I really think it's kind of unnecessary.
I
Just
mean,
want to
but
add. I want to add one more thing. Sorry, Sean. They said it will run on 120 run at
yeah,
120
right.
frames per second in TV mode on Switch 2, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, I'll probably pick it up on Switch too, I'm thinking. But yeah, the whole like cross-platform save thing makes sense for really big games that you're going to be playing for a long time or like that have seasons of content. I don't know if Hades 2 really falls into that category. Like it seems how many people are going to buy it on multiple platforms and keep playing it forever? Like, okay, I know you will, but
I will buy it on every platform.
that's the only thing. And maybe it's like there's another game they're working on that this makes more sense for, and that's why they threw it in. Who knows? But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Just want to throw this in. I went to the Nintendo eShop to look it up. There's a Switch version, a Switch 2 version listed, and an upgrade pack. And the Switch version is $38.99, as is the Switch 2, and the upgrade pack is 0. So they are providing both versions for free, which is nice. So I would recommend buying the Switch version because you won't be able to go backwards. So if you want both, buy the Switch and upgrade it.
One other thing that's kind of interesting about this, like, I mean, you were started off kind of talking about game of the year stuff with this game, which, yeah, it definitely could be. I don't know. I haven't heard that much based on early access, but that's what I'm kind of wondering. Like, does early access affect hype level? Like, how do people feel about this game? Because, announcing that it's coming out now feels a little anticlimactic, but I'm sure there's lots of people that just waited to buy it. So
I agree. It does feel a little anticlimactic. It definitely stopped me from playing it when it was in early access, but I think the first Hades was early access as well, and it didn't
Yeah, it
seem to
was.
stop it from winning a lot of awards or garnering a lot of praise. So I don't think it will be a factor that much. Silksong, I think, would be a bigger factor for sales than any of the early access stuff. Okay, just got to get this in there. They mentioned there will be an Air Riders Direct 2. In case in that last 45 minutes you didn't learn every detail of every system and mechanic in the game, every mode, we need an update on this game. So cannot wait to discuss that on this show.
I mean, this is like, I know this is jumping ahead a little bit, but Metroid Prime 4 gets announced and there's no like Metroid Prime Direct, but Kirby Air Riders gets 2. Like, what is going on? That's not a good sign.
Okay. Like, you want to just, no, we'll save it. But I agree. Small devil's advocate, Air Riders comes out sooner. So there still might be a Metroid Prime 4
Yeah.
Direct in the future.
And I think
there
that
will be.
I think there is the whole, is it Sakurai? Is that the designer? Like he's got this, I guess I didn't fully understand how big of a deal he is. And it feels like that's why he's getting all this time to talk about it.
I didn't know that. I didn't understand it. I still don't understand it, but I liked him in that Nintendo Direct. All right. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment releasing on November 6th. And I bought Hyrule Warriors 1 recently, and I wanted to try to get into this series. I got sidetracked. I want to like these games just because I love how it takes the presentation elements of Breath of the Wild and Zelda games and incorporates it so well into this franchise. Like it's, and I thought the power ups and characters fighting like visually was impressive and looked fun. I know the gameplay's kind of monotonous, but I kind of want to get into these games more than I do Dynasty Warriors because I just love the Zelda world. Anyone played any of these we talked about this before. We both tried a demo at some point.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Okay. Dragon Quest VII reimagined. So we've got the HD remakes for Dragon Quest. Huck, you're the RPG guy.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest and Dragon Quest VII. What's your take?
So I'm not a huge Dragon Quest guy, but I remember, I think it was 7 or maybe 8. I can't remember. It came out on the PS2, I think, maybe PS3. I'm having a little trouble, but it was so long and monotonous and just like an absolute slog. But I actually really like this take artistically that they did. I mean, I don't really know how much they really showed of the game. It was kind of hard to tell if any. I mean, there was a little bit of gameplay, it looks like, I think, when they were running through some hallways, but the like cutscene type things they were showing was an interesting look, almost like, you know, like anime big heads almost, with like, but very polished looking. So I'm kind of interested in this, even though normally Dragon Quest not my thing. I know I recently played, was it Dragon Quest 3 remastered? That was pretty good for what I played. Obviously didn't beat it, but 1 and 2 I'm kind of interested in trying just to see what they did. But I did like the art style of this one, and I would consider at least trying it. Though normally the Dragon Quest games are just so slow and long and not just, they just don't capture my interest. So I will try it, but I don't have high hopes for it. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I completely agree. Love the art style. Thought it looked very polished and almost modern animated film with some interesting effects and camera work and perspectives. So I'm intrigued as well, but I tried part 3 and I see what you mean about the pace. It was very slow paced. Sean, anything for that one?
No, I mean, I probably won't check it out, but I agree that the art style kind of caught my eye.
All right. Well, you're up next anyway. This might have been the announcement of the show coming up next, and I'm not kidding.
No.
The Virtual Boy is coming to the Nintendo Online service, including a physical Virtual Boy device with the same proportions and look of the original Virtual Boy. No controller, just the headset and the stand. And you can play at some point, I think almost every Virtual Boy game ever by inserting your Switch 2 console or Switch. I actually don't know.
I think it's both.
Okay.
Yeah, both. Mm-hmm.
And they fit in, you lift the top of the visor and you put it in and you can play in 3D through that device. There will also be a cardboard version. The big one, I think, is $100, the official one, which I thought was actually kind of reasonable. I don't know why. I was expecting it to be even more. And the cardboard one, I think, is $25. Those are probably American prices. I thought this was a fun idea. I feel like Sean is going to eat this thing up.
Well, I did text you guys and say it was classic Nintendo nonsense, but I'm probably going to buy it. Because it's like, who really wants this for the most part? You know, like these games are not... The system failed, and it's kind of been like a thing that it's not like Nintendo's been proud of this. It's not like they've, you know, been talking about their Virtual Boy history for years. It's just kind of been like a weird footnote. But yeah, like bringing this out with, like, I've always wanted, I never really didn't have one back in the day. I've always kind of wanted to get one recently just because it's such a curiosity, but they're so expensive to buy used now that it's just like,
you are the person they are targeting with this bullshit.
it's me, but like
you are the target audience.
I don't think
all
there's
those
a lot of
kids
people
that
like
were
me
like
out there.
all those kids who are like 8 to 15 years old when the Virtual Boy came out that couldn't play it because it was stupid then. It's still stupid now, but you were interested in it because it was Nintendo at the time, and now you have money and you're going to give them that money. And that is what they're
Yeah.
after.
I mean, so there's a couple things that bug me about it though. Like one is that the games are tied to the Switch Online service, right? So it's like you have to have this accessory to play them. As far as I know, I didn't see anything about having like a 2D way to play these games. So you have to buy this accessory, but then you have to be a subscriber to Switch Online, which I am. But I just mean like at some point, if I unsubscribe, I can't play these games anymore. I wish it was like a Virtual Boy Mini instead.
They got you forever. They got you forever if you buy this thing.
They also said, they're rolling out the games over time, so it'll probably be like 3 at launch or something.
Yeah. And how many games did Virtual have? Didn't it only have like 30 games?
I think they said there's 15 that they will be getting to eventually. But yeah, I don't know in total how many there were.
Did you guys play Virtual Boy?
No, never.
The only thing, well, okay, 2 things. I tried it, back when I was a kid at a Toys R Us display. That was the only time I ever tried it. And then recently, they actually have an emulator on the Quest. So I've played some of the games, which, generally they aren't that great. But the other
I did
thing
play it. I rented one back in the day.
You did?
And almost bought one. Yeah, the games were not good at all. It was very awkward. You had to basically lay down on the ground to play, or at least I did.
I think
actually now, if I just put it on a desk, it would be fine.
That was, I think, the intention is you put it on a table. And I'm surprised even the cardboard one doesn't have a head strap. I thought maybe they would do that, but it's the same thing where you basically got to put it down on a table and lean into it while you're playing with your controller, which is weird.
Yeah, that's a good point. How did they not have a way to just attach it to your head?
It's a nostalgia play. It's not about being functional. It's a nostalgia play.
I get it, but it'd be easy to just add a strap and...
They don't care about it working. They don't want to re-engineer anything. They probably literally took the
they
same
don't think
mold.
anyone's actually going to play them.
Yes.
They just want to buy it and
they just want you to buy it and then throw it in the garbage in 2 weeks when you realize these games all suck.
Well, but I did see some people speculating, like the Nintendo Labo, which was also another weird Nintendo curiosity. Frank has
one. I
one.
have unopened back there.
I got one. I used it. It's good.
Oh yeah,
it's fun. Yeah.
You can play Breath of the Wild in VR, and I think Mario Odyssey in VR with the cardboard headset one. And so a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but I've seen some people saying, "Oh, I wonder if they'll enable that on the Switch too," which actually might look better with the hardware if they make that possible with this Virtual Boy.
I thought my Nintendo Labo was going to be worth a lot of money. It's not yet. I'm holding out, though. It will be one day. Mark my words. That is part of my retirement.
You should just open it and play the fishing game. It's worth it. It's worth it.
I
play the piano.
I am irrationally excited for the Virtual Boy.
What
games? I think
you just said awesome. All the games were horrible.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. I'm in. I'm buying one for sure. 100%. Won't even think twice. I checked to see if I could order it today in case they sold out. Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly Remake. I know nothing of Fatal Frame. Does this mean anything to anyone?
No.
No, it does not.
Graphics looked okay. Power Wash Simulator 2. Obviously, our friend Jay's excited.
Game of the year.
Online co-op, I think up to 4 players. Looks all right. Suika Game Planet, which is a fruit matching puzzle game. And this is a new version with some co-op features. Anything on any of these people need to touch on?
I mean, I'd probably pick that up. I like the original Suika game. And this is not just adding co-op. It's like a whole different game mode where you rotate around.
Correct.
Could be interesting.
It could be. I thought it looked all right as well. All right, here we go. This is where we're going to have some discussion, I think. Metroid Prime 4 has a release date.
Yikes.
December 4th this year. Sean and Huck both said it's not coming out this year. I was very firm and said it will be coming out this year. I'm positive. So we'll just put that in the record books. The big thing here was a motorbike, and some gameplay on the motorbike. And some sand areas, which looked kind of open. What are we
Hmm.
thinking about what we saw for Metroid Prime 4, Sean?
Well, I will say, when the trailer started, unless I missed it, I don't think they set up that it was Metroid. And I was looking at it, I was like, this looks kind of Metroid-y, but what the hell is this? And then, I wasn't that impressed with it. I was like, it looks okay. It's kind of interesting, I guess. And then I was like, wait. And then it switched, and I was like, wait, that's Metroid? What? So it wasn't like, I mean, I guess it's an interesting new addition to the game, but I wasn't that impressed by what I saw. I guess I'm curious. Like it reminds me of like adding the Batmobile to the Arkham games, maybe, or something like that. Although it doesn't. It seems like it's just for getting between areas. It doesn't seem like there's actual Metroid exploration with the cycle. But maybe there's something. I don't know. Also
But
reminded me of, didn't Breath of the Wild DLC add some kind of motorcycle at some point?
Yep.
So, but yeah, other than that, it was kind of a short trailer. It was just like buried in the middle of the whole direct. I was like, this feels like it should be a bigger deal, but obviously I'm a Metroid guy, and I know it's never really sold that well for Nintendo. Maybe that's part of it, but there's something weird's going on here.
very
Okay.
suspicious. Very suspicious. Uh, I must say the bike stuff did not impress me either. Like you're doing bike combat by like stomping your front wheel is what it looked like to me. That doesn't seem that fun. This is like bumper cars with like a weird, I don't know, smash move is kind of strange. And then even the other, like the windy areas they showed, there was like something with like some propellers or something going on, and then they had this like wolves you were attacking, and it was just like a whiteout all around. Like there wasn't much environment to show, like other than the sandy area and almost like that CG intro of that like tower with the lightning. There wasn't really much memorable about what they showed, even though it was short. You'd think if they maybe like the enemy character with like the greenish or blue slit down his face in the armor or whatever. But there wasn't like I'm not really like, oh, I want to see what that looks like, or yeah, there's nothing really about this trailer that really pulled me in to want to play this game. And yeah, considering you're announcing the release date, it's this year. I mean, it's still 3 months out, so it's still like there's still some hype cycle to go, but you'd figure with like a release date drop, you'd add something interesting in there. I don't know. It's a little bizarre
Yeah,
choice,
I
and
mean,
like its placement in the direct also very bizarre. Like what was before and what was after it. I don't even remember, but I'm sure it was like Danganronpa and like like some other nothing game,
yeah.
just like a strange spot.
Well, the one thing we haven't touched on that was the strangest to me is it feels like the motorbike is introducing an open world element or like a expanse of territory to be able to travel it that fast. That does that need to be explored, which is kind of the antithesis of Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime is like very like detailed, memorable rooms that are all interconnected. It's never that big. And the idea is like every room kind of matters and you recognize it and like has its own look, where this is potentially indicating like a huge, like large area, unless it's just almost a mini game or getting from area to area at certain points. It just to me raised a bunch of questions that I don't know. It just seems weird to leave that open ended and have people speculate about it. And I will say I'm a little more positive than you guys. I kind of liked the look of the bike and thought it was an interesting change up. And I could see a world kind of along the lines of Jedi Survivor, where there's an open world hub with other areas that you go to in a Metroid game that could be good. I'm open to the idea for sure. And I like the idea of the bike in principle as just a change up. Everything else I've seen in this game so far has been just another Metroid Prime game, which
It
I
just
didn't
looked.
even like.
I was just gonna say it just looks so barren. Like
I agree. That
it
is
was just like
undeniable. So
huge open spaces. Is this Mad Max or something like that? I don't know.
yeah, it's a little weird at how unfull, if that is open world, it
Yeah.
looks empty.
Even they
And
showed up. They showed. I just quickly went back to it, and like, there's like a little mini map HUD radar thing, and it's like just the dot in the center. There's like no dots on it. Like, there's nothing to look at. Like, nothing to see here.
Yeah,
Just drive in a random direction, I guess, and see
but
what you
like
can
that's
find.
what you were saying, Frank, is what I was thinking as well. Like it's almost like instead of an elevator or something, like there's certain parts of the game where you can just jump on this bike to go from one section to the other. But maybe there's some enemies to kill. That's about it. But that's just a guess. I really don't know.
yeah, it's especially after the kind of half-assed and flubbed attempt to make Mario Kart World open world to some degree and
Well,
have that kind of
is this just a vehicle to put into Mario Kart World? Is this all this
maybe.
is?
people were speculating about that for sure. I don't think so. I think it might come to Mario Kart World for sure, but I thought the actual idea of it could work, but graphically you can see it was made for Switch, especially in the first shot, like the pretty low poly models. And if I'm noticing that, that's probably not a good sign because I would never pick up on stuff like that. But I did think like the lightning tower and some of the effects looked really good. I thought that looked awesome. For a Switch game, I thought it had some visual flair. But just kind of to summarize and what Sean was saying before, something's up with this game. This game could be really bad. If they are not pushing it hard at all, I wish I would have played it at fucking Fan Expo so I could tell you it's
Yeah.
a turd out of the gate.
So
But
when's
I didn't.
Air Riders come out?
November 20th, I think.
Okay, so about a month before? No, like 3 weeks before? 2 weeks before? Huh.
Not
That's
even
even
really.
more bizarre. I
mean,
thought it
the
would have been
December
earlier.
release date is also not
They're
the
hiding
best.
it.
Like Indiana Jones came out around that time last year, but it generally is like, we need to have it out this year. We're giving you the absolute most time we can to polish this thing.
Yeah, this must hit fiscal year 2025.
Yeah.
Cannot bury this again.
Yeah, I think. Well, that okay. I was gonna save this, but let's go there now. I mean, I'm a bit of a Nintendo contrarian to some degree, but I have to say, like, Nintendo absolutely crushed it this year. They have the most games. They have, in my opinion, the best game of the year. They're announcing tons of stuff that's coming out in the next year. We got Pokemon Legends, not that I care about it, coming out next. Metroid Prime 4, Mario Kart World, Hyrule Warriors. They've got Hades 2 exclusive. I mean, they'll have Silksong as well. Like, out of all the major
And they
platforms.
announced a game at the end of this that we haven't got to yet, which is a big deal to probably a lot
Yeah.
of people.
Yeah, I was kind of putting that under the games coming out in the next year or so kind of
Yeah.
thing, including that Yoshi game and Tennis Fever, but those are guaranteed 2026 releases, including
it's a
Fire
lot.
Emblems, which Huck's alluding to.
Yeah.
And I just feel like they've been very productive. Oh, I forgot Air Riders as well. That could be a great game. I think Nintendo is kind of flying under the radar this year, even with the Switch 2, and they should be getting more praise. They've done a lot of good stuff this year and announced a lot of stuff, and it's been crickets for the most part from Microsoft and Xbox first party stuff. And I'm all about the console war.
I think
Nintendo
you
won
meant,
this year.
Did you say Microsoft and Xbox? I think you meant
Sorry.
Xbox and PS5?
Xbox
Sony
and
and
PS,
Microsoft?
PlayStation, first party. They've barely said anything this year. And Nintendo, guess what? You won this year. I'm giving you the credit.
I think Microsoft's had a pretty good year, at least in terms of just when I look at what's come out on Game Pass. There's been like tons
What
of
has
good
Microsoft
games.
done?
I mean, Doom: The Dark Ages. Like, do
Okay,
you
that's
consider
good.
that
Very good. Yeah,
Microsoft?
I agree.
Like, I don't know. There's a few others, but
So let's cancel that out with Metroid Prime 4 potentially. And what else to go up against Bonanza and Mario Kart World and all these other
I'd have
things?
to look at the list, but I feel
Oblivion
like
remaster, I think.
yeah, they had that.
Gears of War Reloaded.
COD
Huge-
7, obviously.
I'm sorry. Nintendo is
I think
is crushing it.
Nintendo, like the problem, I think why they're going under the radar is a lot of people just don't have the Switch 2 yet, right? So it's like, it's kind of in that zone where it's maybe the holiday season, people will get one and it'll start kind of being more on people's radar. But I
I'm
agree,
not looking to
they've
the
been pretty
people.
good.
I'm looking to the journalists and the gatekeepers of video game opinions, which everyone listens to. There should be op-eds about Nintendo is having an amazing year and no one's talking about it, something like that. Just wait for one of those to drop soon. Half the things I say on the show, they end up as op-eds the next week. Like I'm ahead of the curve, man. Okay, and I wanted to add the song. There was like a kind of upbeat, kind of techno track in the Metroid Prime 4. It was really good. I was like, I know the Metroid Prime music is good, but this thing was a banger. I was loving it. Next up, DLC dropping that day, paid DLC for Donkey Kong Bonanza, including a new area called DK Island and Emerald Rush mode, which along the lines, as far as I can tell, of something like what was the God of War DLC for Ragnarok? I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, right. I don't remember either, but
But
yeah,
it's basically turning it into kind of a roguelike mode where you smash stuff and get power ups and use fossils to get buffs and boons. And I haven't bought it yet. I haven't tried it, but I will buy it for sure. But I thought it could be fun. I love roguelikes and roguelites, and I'm always intrigued by some of my favorite games getting those modes. But when it comes to playing them, I'm just like not as attached to them. I don't know why, but I thought it looked all right. It was nothing mind blowing, but it's got great mechanics. I could see it being a lot of fun.
it didn't The Last of Us Part 2 have like some kind of roguelike thing as well. Am I remembering right?
Possibly, yes. I think you might be right on that, but
I-
do
It,
not
it
quote me.
it is interesting just because I was like thinking, has Nintendo ever done a roguelike or is this the first time they've kind of incorporated those elements into one of their games?
No, I think there is another one, but I'm struggling to think of it right now. But
Yeah, I mean, it seemed kind of interesting. I guess I wasn't clear on what the DK Island part was. Like, is it just like, is there actually story elements to that, or is it just a place you can screw around and talk to characters? Like, I didn't really get it.
yeah, Sean, it looks like so far no official roguelikes from Nintendo ever. So I'm curious to see their take and give it a
Yeah,
whirl.
for sure.
Okay. Might go through this Pokemon stuff pretty quickly. A new game, I think it's Switch 2 exclusive, Pokemon Pokopia announced. I think 2026 release, where it's kind of an Animal Crossing slash Pokemon game where you have them in your garden and you can customize and do stuff with the garden. And then Pokemon Legends ZA coming later this year. Just a bit of an update on that. And like Mega Evolutions, which I think were kind of a big deal to people who like Pokemon. Means nothing to me, but also Mega Dimensions DLC relating to some of that stuff. And it showed two versions, like Mega Evolutions of Pikachu. So I don't know. I think I'm officially moving on from Pokemon and any chance I'll ever like it. And I just want to add, Nintendo has some of the best art direction in the world. Like any character they create, any art style they commit to, they absolutely crush it. They might have the best artists and art directors in the world. And I know it's Game Freak, but I don't find Pokemon designs all that good. Like I look at Monster Hunter stuff and I'm like blown away by the creativity of these creatures. Like I don't even want to like Pokemon. I look at the creatures that are in there and they're not like that interesting to me. Even like, let's face it, Mewtwo is a hideous beast. Like these creatures are not intriguing. Like they're not whatever it is. They don't call to me. Nothing about the design of Pokemon just makes me want to play it. Maybe because I didn't play it as a kid, but I don't know. There's lots of stuff designed for kids that I'm like, that looks cool. I don't think Pokemon even looks cool. So I still can't believe the legs this franchise has. Are any of you guys popping on any Pokemon games announced here?
I mean, I'm going to be librarying them. I don't know if I'm going to be buying them, but the kids like Pokemon. I still think they're fine, but the this one definitely looked pretty generic in its art style. And it was kind of like, I think they showed a lot of like city landscapes that looked very barren and very blocky from what I remember. So nothing really like called to me, like you're saying, Frank, about the art style or even just you know, what they showed here. It did look slightly like a different presentation than normal than like the previous Pokemon games, but it did have a weird art style to it. I don't know if it's going to be a little more stylized or something, but definitely the least excited I've been for a Pokemon game in a while. But I'll still give it a try. That's for sure.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at an image of the original Pokemon characters. They suck too. Like they're not good.
You don't like Squirtle?
Like some of them are just like rocks, like stupid rocks with eyes, and
Yeah.
I mean they're shit. They're absolute shit.
Look at the names though. Some of the names are creative. For
Names
things.
are cool. Squirtle's a good name, not gonna lie, but Charizard's all right. I mean, the name Mewtwo's kind of a cool name, but visually, probably the least impressive Nintendo, for my money, IP visually. It does not wow me ever.
Yeah.
Never has, never will.
I think that Pokopia game is going to be huge, though. Like that's kind of surprising they haven't really gone that route before with Pokemon. I think it's a pretty good fit.
Yeah, I could see it being huge. Another cozy sim. At least it's not another shitty indie cozy sim. It's like a big budget Nintendo cozy sim. So I can get behind it a little bit, but I don't think I'll be playing it. Next up, I'll do a couple quick ones here. Danganronpa 2x2. Danganronpa 2 with some extra stories coming. Dynasty Warriors Origins coming to the Switch. And Monster Hunter Stories 3. Now this, well, someone else. Let's, Huck. Danganronpa. This is your bag, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I've played for the first one. Really enjoyed it. I bought 2 and 3 on Steam. I think I've started 2. But when I was looking at this footage, I did not recognize this like island setting. So it's been a long time since I played 2, and it's like one of those games on my wall of shame where I really liked 1, so I bought 2 and 3 right away, and I just never got back to it. Kind of like the Mafia games right now. I played through Mafia 1, loved it, bought 2 and 3, never touched them yet. So I'm not going to buy this one. I'll probably play the one I already purchased, but I definitely need to get back to Danganronpa 2. It's a cool game. It's really unique. It's like this like detective game mixed with this like social, almost like Persona, getting to know people thing, and it's a very unique like franchise. That's kind of cool. So yeah, if people don't know about this game, they should look into it.
No, it's coming to everything. I think it's on Steam
Probably.
already, so it's not a Nintendo thing. Monster Hunter Stories 3. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, is the 2x2 thing Switch exclusive though, or is that
No, that's on. Well, it's listed on Steam, so I assume it's the same. In contrary to Pokemon, like this Monster Hunter Stories 3, like I don't think I'd like it at all, but visually it looks incredible. I think
it looked good.
Its art style is exceptional, and not that I'm going to play it. All right. Anything else before I move on to one of the last two? Okay. Nope. The Resident Evil games, including Requiem, 9, Village, and why can't I think of the one before? Biohazard? Biohazard.
Yeah.
All coming on, I think, February 26th or 27th, the day Requiem's released to the Switch 2. I was pretty shocked by this. I do not for 1 second Do I believe that footage of the flashlight real-time lighting the staircase was running on a Switch? Nor will it look like that when it's on a Switch 2. I was like, this is going to be a bait and switch big time.
See, I was wondering that because like we just saw that whole intro sequence recently, right? Was it like a Sony
Summer Game Fest? I'm pretty sure.
Summer Game Fest, yeah, or Gamescom, you mean, right?
Sorry, yes.
So I was like, okay, this looks familiar. Like I've seen this situation, and it didn't look like it looked a little worse, I thought, than the trailer we'd seen before. So I was like, okay, I think this is Switch, but I was still kind of surprised that it was running that good. So I don't know. It's hard to say.
I mean, I'm sure Village and Biohazard will run okay. They ran on PS4. It'll be similar to the PS4 version, but Requiem, I have my doubts.
Yeah, pretty impressive they get this thing running on the Switch too. I mean, I don't have any insider info really about the development on the Switch 2 yet, but you got to think it's not quite PS5 or maybe close to the PS5, but I mean, Requiem looks pretty impressive. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they have to pare down to get it up to snuff.
I'm still waiting to say, well, 7 and 8 will be running natively on the Switch 2. Requiem will be a cloud version.
Maybe.
Resident Evil. I'm still waiting for that.
Yeah.
Last game announcement, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, a new Fire Emblem game that looks like a turn-based strategy game, which I think most of them are, the latest ones anyway.
They all are.
All are? Okay. And I gotta say, visually, this was not doing much for me. It kind of like felt like a dud in terms of the actual gameplay map and character and animations and movement. Didn't feel that polished, felt pretty bare bones to me. So I remember Fire Emblem Engage and even Three Houses. I think I bought one of them wanting to play it because Three Houses got really good reviews. But this one, like, nothing is calling to me. Huck, do you like these games? What are you thinking?
I liked the original Fire Emblem. I kind of like these turn-based strategy games, but Three Houses was so heavy on the talking and building relationships and all that stuff that it was a little too much for me, and it was also like a super long game. But this game, I did think like a lot of especially like the UI overlays, or like, you know, when you're trying to like show the grid, it looked very flat. Like not really a big upgrade, if not a downgrade from previous games. And they obviously showed some characters, but they didn't really, from what I can remember, talk about, you know, what the story or relationships are going to be, or who your kind of like core group of people are. Maybe I just missed it or didn't remember, but it didn't seem to be a great trailer for this game, especially as like a release. I mean, obviously the cutscenes look nice, but the gameplay footage didn't look that good. And I think they're leaning into that, just like this is a sequel, or, you know, this is another game in the Fire Emblem franchise. And hey, look at our cutscenes and look at all these characters that are hot looking or whatever. I don't know what they're going for, but it didn't seem like, if you're looking for like a really strong turn-based strategy game, it didn't look like they were leaning into those people of trying to like convince them to come in.
I thought the look of the battlefield, like I'm looking at some images now of like the grass and trees and bushes,
super flat.
It looks like nothing. It's very strange.
That's what I remember too from looking at it. But I mean, it's hard to say. I don't think they showed much footage of the game, like the battles.
I mean, I got the sense that it's still early for this game, although it is supposed to come out in 2026. But yeah, it just felt like maybe it was a little early for them to announce. But it also, you know, I don't think I ever played any of the ones on, like, was it the Wii or Wii U, or was there something on the Switch? I don't remember what the last one was, but
there was one, like Three Houses was on the Switch.
Oh,
yeah.
And
Fire Emblem Engage was on the Switch like last year, the year before.
Yeah.
because like I had only really played the early ones that were like on handheld systems,
Yeah.
and
Like Game Boy Advance, I think.
yeah, and then just watching this trailer made me think like I don't know, maybe this franchise doesn't translate to like big like a bigger system with like a crazy cutscenes. Like maybe it's better as like a smaller handheld game, but then again, as Frank said, the last one got good reviews, so I don't know. It just, but yeah, I agree. It didn't look great to me.
I don't know if Engage got great reviews. Three Houses did. Three Houses got like
Yes.
tons of praise. It was
And it was
very
talked
highly
about a
rated.
lot.
Yeah, that's why I picked it up. Okay, I think that does it for the direct. Got to give a letter grade. What are you guys saying?
It's a good question.
Yeah, it's a tough. I feel like a lot of people were pretty psyched about it. Thought it was like a really good direct, and like, it was good in terms of there was some new stuff announced, but still seemed early. We didn't see that much of a lot of the games. I'm gonna say like a B minus. For me, definitely the Virtual Boy was the kind of cool, exciting thing, even though it's nobody else is probably gonna be that excited about it. But there's some good stuff.
I
Yeah.
actually think they would have benefited from cutting some of like the stuff we skipped over and small releases, and just if they would have it, it shouldn't matter, but like when you're there for an hour and 6 minutes and you're like twiddling your thumbs a bit, it just feels off. But if you condensed it to the big Nintendo stuff, I thought they absolutely crushed it for the most part, and I was kind of hyped. I would give it a B plus.
Yeah, I just looked and I while we were talking, I was like, I wonder what Camelot's doing. And I don't know if you guys remember Camelot. They did like originally they did the Shiny Force games and like Mario Golf, and they are doing the Fever. So I got the Fever. I'm gonna give it a solid B myself after looking that up. I love Camelot. I think they're really talented developers, and doing Mario Tennis, they're getting the B just for that.
Okay.
Nice.
Maybe mine's a little inflated because I just want to throw some love Nintendo's way. They are having an amazing 2025, and it wasn't for them, my God, we'd be in dire straits. So,
Can you imagine if they
stuff to
announced?
talk about.
Can you imagine if they announced achievements? You would just like throw out all your other systems at this point.
I know it could happen. Now I don't want to go too far down this road, but I was thinking, what if they sold an amiibo that like the whole point of the amiibo was to have achievements stored in it. Like the only way you could store the achievement.
Well, what
is
if
in
what
the
if they
amiibo.
did that for every game?
Exactly.
Yes.
And then I'd have to buy
Oh,
for
wow,
every game.
that is a
And then
cheat. You should cut this. They will do that now, and you will be forced to buy them.
And then they have like some amiibo app ranking system where you like upload your amiibo and it tracks your progress, and it's like a way of making you pay for achievements.
And the amiibos are $80 instead of 40.
And I would do it 100%. Oh my God, what a good idea. Oh,
We forgot to mention that there's some Metroid Prime 4 amiibos coming too.
I also
The
didn't mention the
motorcycle?
Kirby Air Ride amiibo, Sean, but thank you for reminding me.
Gotta
Most
pick
of
up
the
that
Metroid ones,
motorcycle
like-
Samus.
It's already sold out, or pre-orders in Canada anyway,
Whoa.
on Best Buy. Okay, what did we play? Anyone play anything new and fun? I will say I was going to play Borderlands 4, thanks to our friend Chin, who got me a nice discounted copy on Steam, and I went down to sit down to play it today, and I couldn't connect a controller to my PC, and somehow my Bluetooth got completely fried, and my device was, I had to like uninstall it and do a bunch of digging to get it back on my computer. And by the time I did it, I'm like, oh, I can't even play it anymore. I'd be able to play for like 30 minutes.
Because USB cables don't exist.
I want my Bluetooth controller to work. I was like freaking out. I'm like, why? Like the Bluetooth icon wasn't even showing up in my tray.
In your
My-
taskbar? Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Funny you mention that because I had an issue as well today trying to play Dune Awakening. It was really, I just had to remove the controller and re-add it, but took me like 5 or 10 minutes to get my controller working too.
So no Borderlands thoughts, but I figured I'd wait anyway. And then Sean will have played it by next week and we can talk about it.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Huck,
I
what do you
played
got?
one. Yeah, I played a little game just very shortly, but it is new. It's called Little Problems. Came out on Steam this week. I would call it a Golden Idol like. So it's basically the exact same puzzle setup. You have essentially like 2D images with like things you can inspect, and then it'll give you like a description, and in that description there are words that are highlighted or underlined, I should say, and you click on them, and it will add them to like your clue database kind of thing, just like Golden Idol 1.
It's literally exactly the same.
Yeah, it literally exactly. And then you once you find all the clues, you can try to solve the like little mystery they have, and it's the exact same thing. There's multiple panels. You know, there's a panel of like the people, there's a panel of the mystery that happened or whatever, and then there is the another panel of whatever, something else, like some other miscellaneous thing. So it is literally the exact same formula as Golden Idol, except it's set in this sort of like anime, not even anime, I don't know, like cartoony. Let's say you're like a girl that's going to school essentially, or just, and you're kind of like just going through her life essentially and solving puzzles. Like the first puzzle is she sleeps in for school or for some meeting she has to take for some presentation, and then you're trying to like, you know, find the information of like who she was supposed to meet, and you know, other little things about that. And then the second puzzle is like, you know, there's like a broken mug in the living room, and there's food on the table. So like, who didn't clean up the dishes? And like it's much more like cozy Golden Idol than like Golden Idol's themes that they go into. But overall, like, I mean, I really like these deductive reasoning games, so I'm enjoying it so far. But it is definitely definitely a different theme than Golden Idol, and but it's fun, you know, same style. Why break something that's not broken, or why change something that's not broken? So I'm enjoying it so far.
Yeah, there are a lot of games copying the formula. I think the one thing that they don't have that Golden Idol has is like the art style of Golden Idol is still
Yeah.
very distinctive and cool, and the story is interesting.
Yes.
Like Duck Detective is another one that is more on the cozy side, but basically copies the formula. So yeah,
Yeah.
there's a bunch out there.
Yeah.
I think I want to do my best to purge the word cozy from the realm of gaming. It's really starting to bother me. It's so
No.
overused, and I'm sick of it.
I think you should design some cozy simulators.
No.
A cozy bedroom simulator. That should be your next project.
Okay. Like, I don't do much in my bedroom. I can only simulate a few things in there. Anyway, I pretty much only played Silksong this week, other than my dailies. So I was pretty frustrated last week with the early stages of the game. Not that I hated it by any means, but I definitely was like, I'm pushing through a bit after we recorded last week, and push through I did. I put about at least 20 hours in this week, a couple marathon
Holy
sessions.
Yikes.
And I have to say, I'm starting to like it a lot. I've had stretches that have been very satisfying, and it definitely helps to get a crest where you get the classic down pogo action. And I like some of the bosses I thought were really fun. Even a couple of the harder ones, when I was dying on them, I'm like, this is my fault. This boss isn't that hard. Just relax, take your time. And it's actually, I really felt, other than the Savage Beast Fly, which was an early boss that's intentionally hard, and I probably did it too early, I'm finding the bosses to be pretty reasonable. I find this game easier than the first one. I don't know if I'm like nutty or something, but I've had like stretches where I just kind of go 5 hours and I'm not getting stalled on anything. The only bosses that really have tripped me up are Savage Beast Fly, as I mentioned, the last night, I think, or the last Guardian. It's before you end Act 1, and I didn't even hate that boss. That was the one where I was like, this is my fault. This isn't that hard. It's just, it gets really fast. And I just think it's You know, it's when you get on a run exploring and you're unlocking new things and you don't get stuck, it is a fun game, especially once you unlock more tools and power ups. I just don't think it does a great job in those early stages of the game of letting you kind of have fun and master the mechanics, and the combat integration into level design isn't that good. And there's still very frustrating moments, don't get me wrong, but for the most part, I've been enjoying my time quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about it last week. I do think it starts off easier than the first one, and I haven't really hit a difficulty spike yet. Although Savage Beastfly, I think, is the one that I encountered and just said, okay, I'm coming back later.
Does it spawn random minions?
I don't think I.
Like, that to me is the problem with that boss. There's a couple bosses that it's kind of dependent on them spawning other enemies in the room, and it's somewhat RNG based, and you can get really unlucky, and just with their patterns, it's not coordinated between the three or however many entities are in a room, and it can feel really like RNG and frustrating in that sense. Where if it's like just a single boss, like that Last Guardian, I gotta look up what it's called. But that boss was hard, but it was a lot of fun, and I don't know. There's lots of optional stuff that I'm kind of discovering and enjoying my time with. And it's now Sean sent a review today, and I skimmed it and read it a bit, and they did point out a few things that are like just you want to snap, and you just like, well, these guys are fucking assholes, and not in a funny way.
Yeah.
It's like you go to a rest bench at one point, and when you sit on it, a trap kills you. So, like, I was lucky. I had enough health that I survived. So you make it all the way through this area, and then you see a rest bench right there.
Oh, man.
And there's like some small thing that would indicate it's a trap, and you just go to sit, and then it would wipe out whatever. Like, that is just fuck you move, like, big time.
I haven't gotten that far, but I would lose it at that for sure.
And then you get to another bench that's like broken, which isn't as bad because the solution is nearby, but there was another thing too that I'm like, oh my God, these guys are just dicks. Like, someone needs to bring these guys down a peg or two. But it is a lot of fun, and it's still like, I'm not like becoming a Hollow Knight simp or something. Like I'm changing my mind. It was amazing the whole time, and the problem was me. I feel like my criticisms are valid. A lot of the criticisms are valid, and it has a reputation and a fan base that makes it inscrutable, or definitely not fun to try to go at it. It's just trolls and idiots that just say get good, like they did on our YouTube short. Even though I thought it was, pretty well portrayed, some of the flaws. But yeah, I'm liking it. I'm probably going to finish it. Maybe 100% it.
Nice.
Whoa.
I mean, I played a little
Won't be
more,
platinuming
but-
it. Like, one of the platinums is beat it in under 5 hours. It's got ridiculous trophies.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Yeah, I played a little bit more. I mean, I got the dash ability, which definitely opened things up and made it feel better. But I'm not. I haven't dismissed it. I'm kind of setting it aside for some other stuff right now. But we'll see.
One more thing, in the first game you could upgrade your weapon pretty frequently as long as you explored. There was ways to do more damage. This game, it has it, but not as much. And I realized I missed it. Like, you go to this area and it's a room at the top that I just missed somehow. And then like 10 hours later, I come back. I'm like, you could have upgraded your weapon. I'm like, oh my God, no wonder I was
man.
struggling so much. And then I upgraded it, and honestly, it barely even increased the damage. Like, most enemies still took 3 hits. A couple of small enemies took 2 hits instead of 3, which just seems like you upgrade your weapon and you barely notice a difference. Like, come on. Just face it. They're bad designers. It's okay. You can like the game, but they're not good video game designers. They are great artists. They have lots of talent, no doubt. But when it comes to actual like mechanics and designs for a video game, level design, combat design, systems design, it is not their strength at all. And they should address that strength. They have money. I think it would be in their best interest.
But I mean, to be fair, when the first game did as well as it did, there's no, why would you ever think you need to change anything about it, you know? Like, and clearly there is an audience for that, but it just, yeah, it bugs me because it's like I could see myself loving both of these games if there were some tweaks to it, but it's just not going to happen. So,
Yep. Okay. So, Sean?
yeah, so the thing that I actually spent most of my time this week playing was Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo.
Oh my God, he's back.
Finally got back
Whoa.
into it and beat it and really liked it. I think, I was very impressed by the amount of different moves and sort of what's the word? Just like the movement abilities
The
and
move
the
set,
attack
I
abilities.
think, like
Yeah,
locomotion.
Verbs.
Everything that comes from the yo-yo, they really and the way that you can kind of chain all these different movement things together, like it gets tough at times because it's like hard to keep straight in your head, like all the different buttons and stuff.
Left trigger in square, right trigger in X or whatever, and like that was my one criticism. They need a way to simplify all that stuff or integrate everything into one button because it's tough to do.
The final kind of obstacle course thing you have to do with a timer was a bit frustrating, but yeah, I really like the game, and definitely if you're kind of in the market for a Zelda-like or Metroidvania from an isometric perspective, it's got a lot of cool ideas in it, and I thought the level designs were great, and yeah, check it out.
Nice. So did you beat it? You're done?
Yeah,
Nice. Did you platinum it?
I did not.
That's an easy platinum, dude. Get on it. You only have to find half of the shit.
I don't think so.
All right. Anything else from anyone?
Last thing quickly for me, I beat Is This Seat Taken? Pretty pretty short game actually. I expected the puzzles to ramp up in difficulty a little bit, but I found there's like a couple tricky ones in there, but really they're none of them are really too tough. But it is a fun little puzzle game. I kind of wish it was a little longer, to be honest. But I did enjoy it, so I still recommend it. But I do wish
That
it was a
game
little longer.
reeks of DLC.
Yeah,
I guarantee there will be DLC.
yeah, good.
That is their financial plan, guaranteed.
Could be,
Yeah.
could be.
The other thing I played was I mentioned earlier, Dune Awakening. There was a free weekend on Steam, and been hearing some pretty good things about this game. And I liked what I saw of trailers. Whenever they kind of showed the game off, but obviously it's got crafting and survival elements, and I was like, I don't know if that's really for me. So I tried it, and I could see myself getting into this game. Like if you're a fan of the Denis Villeneuve Dune movies, I think it captures the look and feel of those movies very well. The score is great, the visuals are great, and it just is very immersive. But right off the bat, you're like, you can only stay in direct sunlight for like so long before you start taking damage. So you got to like stay to the shadows. You have to hydrate yourself, and if you fall below a certain level, that's going to be a problem. And things like that. But early on, it's not the biggest deal. It's just one of those things that's like, oh, okay, that's a slight annoyance, but I can probably put up with it. And then I felt like the combat was a little sluggish. It was, I don't know, it was weird. Like the parry.
Is it like? Can you remind? Is it like a third-person action game?
It is.
Okay.
But like it's kind of like it's an action adventure third-person game, but then it's got survival elements, and I think it's kind of got MMO elements as well. Like I never got to a point where I saw anybody else in the game, but I believe you do. Can team up with other players, and it's kind of an open world kind of thing too. So there's a lot going on in the game, a lot of systems. I played like an hour, so it's really tough to say, but it was one of those things where I was like, really, it's on sale right now. So I was kind of tempted. I was like, oh, maybe I will pick it up. But then It's not out on consoles yet. I think it comes out next year on consoles, so maybe I'll just wait for that. I'm not sure. But if you're a Dune fan and you're not afraid of the survival elements, I think you should definitely check it out.
All right. I thought it was. I'm looking at some images. It's kind of intrigued when you said it captures the movies, but I don't know. Something's just not sitting for me. Maybe I'll give it a chance on console. All right, that'll do it for us today. Next week, any big games come out this week? We'll be talking about Borderlands 4 in some capacity.
I think that Lego Voyagers game comes out.
Oh, that is
so
this week.
I'll
Oh, that's a
check
shot.
that
I
out.
feel like I need to. Well, you'll probably want to play with your kids. But
They might not want to, but we'll see.
all right, well, let me know. We do our co-ops together, even though we haven't finished Split Fiction yet.
Yeah, we really got to do that.
We do. All right. So thank you for listening or watching at youtube.com/GameJunk, where you can comment and find a Discord link. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.